So today we're going to be having a quick look at the new LEGO Horizon game. Shockingly, this is being run on a 4090 and those frame rates are not very high at all. I'll quickly dip into the settings over here and you'll see that we are running the game with the Epic preset, which is the highest one in the game, and with 100% resolution scaling. Obviously we're playing this at 4K, but the fact that we are getting only 50 frames a second when running about and playing suggests that this Unreal Engine 5 title is very, very demanding. We'll test a range of presets to see if we get any more scalability, but as you can see at the moment, just running around with not much happening, we're only getting 40 frames a second. So what we'll do is we will quickly run through the level to see if the frame rate changes. However, I do doubt that it is going to adjust. In fact, dipping into the 40s in what looks to be a little cutscene here. Looking at the other statistics as well that we've got available, the power draw is very high. It's over 500 watts for a 4090, which is pretty crazy. I know that Unreal Engine can sometimes make GPUs, especially the latest NVIDIA ones, pull a little more power than other game engines, but it does depend on how which engine they're using. So, I mean, just running about around here, it doesn't look as though we're getting much of a difference in frame rate. It's hovering around 40 or 50. So what we'll do is we'll run back to the start and we'll switch the preset out and see if this improves at all. So we're now onto the high setting. However, when we change the presets, it also changes the resolution scale. So just be careful that when you are setting presets to just double check the render scale. So we're on the high preset, but still at 4K, and it looks as though the frame rates now are around 75, 70s, which is obviously better than 40s and 50s. But still, I think for a 4090, this should be getting frames that are in the hundreds. Interestingly as well, the power draw has dropped despite the frame rate going higher. I'm wondering if on the Epic preset, if they are using some sort of ray tracing or some more advanced lumen features that Unreal Engine 5 has, because usually those tend to make the GPU work a fair bit harder. But it's still not a great frame rate. Okay, we're now on the medium preset, and looking at the frame rate, it looks like we are now getting 90s, which is an improvement, but it still makes me believe that there's something potentially not quite right with the optimization on this. If you had a more of a mid-range card like a 3070 or even a 3080, you would probably be seeing around half these frame rates at the same settings, which is crazy to think that just a little LEGO game can be so demanding to run. And just like before, it looks like the power usage has potentially dropped a little lower, not by much. If not, it's probably somewhat similar, but it may suggest, or it will suggest, that dropping the settings will turn some more of the advanced features off. So what we'll do now is we'll again drop it another level down to low and see how that looks. Okay, so we're now on the low preset, and it looks as though we're now getting around 110, 100-ish FPS, so there's not a huge difference in frames from the medium to the low setting, but it does look as though the power draw has dropped, maybe around 10 watts or so, 15 watts or so, but it still looks really commendable for a game that's running low settings. I'd be quite happy playing with these visuals. It still looks like LEGO, which is the main thing. So I'm just sort of shocked to see this game and its performance. If you compare it to Horizon Forbidden West or Horizon Zero Dawn, even the latest remake, you can get frames that are as high as this with the max preset with this GPU. So it's just shocking to sort of see how demanding this is, but I do guess that is Unreal Engine titles. What we'll do is we'll play around with some of the other options as well, because we do have the options for DLSS in here. So what I'll do is I'll set it back to Epic, and then if we do, in fact we'll do DLAA. So now it'll be using the RT cores for sure to, or tensor cores to run the DLSS. And looking at this, it looks like we're getting a very similar frame rate to before as TSR on Ultra, but that makes sense. DLAA does look quite a bit sharper, just to my eye, but that is probably not too noticeable. I'm playing it on a 48-inch 4K LG CX, so you can really make out the details when you've got DLAA. We'll switch to DLSS quality now, so that will be 1440p, and we'll not use any frame generation, although that option is available. So it looks as though at 1440p we're getting around 90 frames a second with the magic of DLSS, so the image quality still looks really good. Yeah, still shocking to think and see how hard this game is to run. To finalise, I'd like to see some optimizations done. I know that they already have frame generation, I know that they already have DLSS and such, but it'd be nice to see things like FSR and XeSS included as well. It's Unreal Engine, so there's no excuse why they can't just use the Unreal Engine plugin to enable those features for GPUs that don't have DLSS, because not everyone has an NVIDIA card. I'd also like to see performance increases, more so than 50 frames on an RTX 4090, pulling almost 500 watts. It's a bit ridiculous to think that you need this much horsepower to play this game all maxed out, but it is somewhat scalable, judging by the fact, as we went through the presets there, you can get clawback performance by resolution, which that is the way usually with Unreal Engine that you do gain frames. Yeah, it's just been nice to see some better frame rates going forward in the future. Thanks for watching.